Let's talk about spontaneity. Let's talk about showing up in life without a real plan. Let's talk about being able to stay present and connected with this particular moment, with playfulness, with connectivity, with this willingness to dance with life. Let's really explore that today. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to In the Pocket with Suzii. This is a tiny little space on the internet where you could come in for some support. This is also a space where you dig a little bit deeper in who you are so that you can show up in a better place out in the world. I'm Suzii. I'm an artist and an art life coach at SuziiChan.com. If you'd like to work with me, please find my information below and get connected. So this idea of accepting the uncertainty, embracing the unknown, showing up in life in the moment without too much of an idea on how far ahead you are planning. I know it's a really scary thing for a lot of people. It's really triggering. It is definitely countering everything that we have been taught, everything that we have been learning and planning for. It's definitely conditioned in all aspects of life. But that's also the space where we kind of end up in this place of like within the zone that we feel so conflicted that there's glass ceiling, and not knowing what to do unless we have a plan. I mean, New Year's resolution is one of those things, right? It's a beautiful idea, and I still love it, actually. I feel like it has been bastardized and like putting into this space of like, no, you shouldn't do it, and it's terrible if you have that mindset and like let that go. But the truth is that inherently isn't a bad thing. Kind of resetting your system and going after and have a plan for something that you want to achieve, you want to go after, it's a beautiful intention, right? I think the problem is that we lose track of our original intent, and then we beat ourselves up for it. So we lose track, we beat ourselves up, and then like other people look at it and we feel bad that we're looking at the situation and other people, and so it's like layer and layer of guilt and shame and all this stuff that is just not serving for us. But this idea of showing up in life with a little bit more of looseness, is that the word? A little bit of spaciousness, that you don't have to know everything that's coming, how it will come. You don't have to plan every details. I think for me, it has taken many years of going back and forth, and definitely have gone through the guilt and the shame, and really trying to understand, or actually questioning, like, what is wrong with me? Why can't I make a plan? Why can't I stick to a plan? Why can't I just be like X, Y, and Z and do this and accomplish this? What I noticed, and this is very recent, is that I knew that we all have our own rhythm, but I still wanted to bulldozer through these obstacles, these things that I'm being taught on. If you really want to, you could get it done. If you're not a planner, you can. I think it's this idea of something that's so forceful. So it's not that I can't plan, it's not that I can't stick to the plan, but it's that the energy, the intent, the energetic nature of way that I have gone about doing something is like this like tightened grip and force into it. If I don't do it, I'm a failure. If I don't do it, then I am not good enough. So I'm like, I gotta do it. I gotta lose X amount of pounds. I gotta finish this project. I have to get this client. I have to make these many videos, whatever. We all have our own versions of that. But if we kind of take a step back, and I like to think about this as like sort of 3-step. One, you kind of pause. Like once you feel that there is like anxiety bubbling in within you, either it's cumulative or it's like just in the moment that's coming up, kind of pause. It's coming up. You pause and you ponder. You really spend a little bit of time, whether it's 5 minutes or, an hour and a half, whatever it is, just be in this space where you could be with it. What is going on? What is this thing that I am trying to do? Why do I feel this grip? First of all, loosen the grip, right? That's a physical release. And that allows your body to tell your system, okay, it's okay. So you have pause, ponder, and you really prioritize. One thing I realize in doing this work is that when we don't really prioritize what really truly serves us, then we're just doing the things, then we're just marching along, then we're just crossing the list. And trust me, for someone who in many ways needs a list to contain me so that I don't fly all over the place and I don't get anything done, going through the list certain days are so helpful. But in general, the list isn't. In general, I have to really reassess on the 5 things on my list. What is the most important thing for me to accomplish right now, to get it off the list so that it's not energetically weighing me down? So pause, ponder, and prioritize. And even in sharing this right now, what I realized that goes hand in hand with knowing your own rhythm. So I said that in certain days and certain times, going through a list is so important for me because I don't have the bandwidth to actually prioritize. So if I know that is my state of being in that day, then I'm gonna help myself by taking this work of prioritizing out and just going through the list. Because then every time you cross something off the list, it's something off your mind, right? So that is like the both and. Getting into knowing, get familiar with your rhythm in every day, in every moment. Check in. How am I feeling right now? What is going on? What is my capacity to take on this? And then you decide, right? And that in itself is an act of spontaneity, is showing up in the moment because you're not being rigid about anything. You're really having the step 1 on checking in on who you are and where you are. And what are you doing then? You're taking care of yourself. You're taking care of your nervous system. You're turning inward and listening to yourself. You're being connected. You're taking care of all parts of you. So the next time you feel that you're frazzled, and next time you feel like either you're on one end that, oh my God, everything needs to be perfect, everything needs to be categorized and, in a system, I need to know what's going on today, tomorrow, 4 years from now, whatever it is, just notice where you are and who you are in the day-to-day, and then just kind of see how you feel about all of this. Do you feel good in all of that? If you truly and honestly really feel good, yeah, that's how I operate and that's how I really feel good, then beautiful. Then that is a genuine, authentic you, and definitely roll with that. But if you have anxiety over not completing one thing or not knowing, you forget your to-do list and you're like, oh shit, I don't know what to do next. If that is causing you anxiety, then it's a good idea to do a check-in. to reassess on your own personal rhythm and actually honoring that. When we get to honor ourselves by doing these things, by pausing, ponder, and prioritize, by knowing that this is a low energy day and you're just going through the list and you're going to conserve your brain power or body power, whatever it may be, then you're in tune with the rhythm. Then you're in tune with the rhythm of life, but ultimately that means in tune with the way you operate in this moment. Then whether, if we check back in on the original thought I had about, New Year's resolution, then it's an ebb and flow. It's a push and go. Then it's a dance, right? And ultimately, that is you living your life, bringing your life forward through you in the moment, and really, so cheesy, but living in the moment. And allowing that moment to kind of, if there's a moment here, you could be back here certain times, and you could be like right in the thick of it. And it's cool to kind of oscillate and dance and move with all of that. Does that make sense? Does that resonate? Let me know, because, it was what I needed for today to kind of center myself and know that I don't have to do one specific thing, but it is a good idea to have some sort of direction, some sort of intent. So I'm dancing around this, but when you hear it, it kind of, in a way, settle in your brain on different spaces of where it needs to be. So be with that. That's it for today. My name again, Suzii, Suzii, 2 eyes, because I believe the I in me sees the I in you. So if you enjoyed this, definitely click subscribe. If you have any other topics or areas that you want me to explore with you, drop it in a comment. That's it for now. Bye.